All right, hit that record button, and we are live.
All right, dude, let's do this.
Don't be dropping your phone. All right. Coming in hot, but that's how we like it, because we are getting a little hot out here on the porch, getting ready for episode 205. We're going to be trying to look into our crystal ball today to see what we can find. I'm sure Jared has some good ideas and solutions for us, like always. And hope you're ready. Hello and welcome to the Untranslatable podcast. We are here relaxing and recording episode 205. And today we will be talking about higher education or college, hopefully after COVID, and how COVID will be changing some of the practices, policies, and overall state of education. So we're going to discuss it a little bit today, and we're curious to hear what you think later. But first, before we get to that, my partner in crime, my good buddy Jared, what's going on, Jared?
Hey, Chad. You know, I was just thinking, why are we sitting on this side? I feel like we should get some of the view. I mean, I'm not going to try to move us now, but I just came to mind. Coming back at you from the outdoor setup, and I stand by this setup forever. This is the greatest thing ever. It's what, 80, probably 80 plus degrees outside. Partly cloudy.
I think about 28, 29 degrees for our Celsius fans out there.
Sure, yeah. And this is great. To see some of these pics, to see what it looks like in our outdoor studio, hit us up on Untranslatable Podcast on Instagram.
Spread a little love.
Yeah, the system's a little jankier. No, there's no video because I forgot my camera. But at least we're outside. That's all that really matters.
Yep.
You can also follow us on Twitter, Untranslatable1, the number 1.
Spread a little love.
You can email us, untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. We are on YouTube usually. I just, as I said, forgot my camera. And then also, we would very much appreciate 5-star reviews, please. That would be on iTunes and Stitcher. That would be great. That would be great.
That is right.
Chad, you finished. We finished last episode, and you told me about some sad news.
Mm-hmm.
You're no longer. You're officially not going to Russia.
That is correct. Yep.
So that's why that's part of the reason why we've had a lot of all these Russian words of the pod. You know, you're trying to prepare a little bit.
Correct.
Some of the songs and stuff. So is it safe to say that we're retiring? I mean, not the Russian songs, obviously, but
definitely not the Russian songs.
But for now, at least the Russian words of the pod.
Not necessarily. I'm still hoping to pick up some Russian as we go. And I think the Russian's going to help me hopefully remember some of my Czech as well.
Okay.
I've been trying to read people's Czech on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and the captions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get a little practice here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I still have my phone in German.
That's smart.
Really no reason, though.
Right. It's kind of cool, though.
But the thing about it is now, like, phone usage is so like so much muscle memory more than anything.
You don't have to know the language as much.
When a notification comes up, I know what it's saying really even without it, without having to know each word of it. And I was like, I know what yes means. So yeah, it's. So are we? Do you want to tell us where our next
journey may take us?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully
all of our
too.
listeners
That's true.
out there, please, good vibes, prayers, fingers crossed. I am hoping to go to Shanghai. Ideally, when the school semester starts up again in August. I'm hoping I can get there on time. I really do. But everything is going to be taking longer right now due to the pandemic, obviously. Borders still aren't 100% open. They aren't processing visas right now in most countries around the world because they're trying to limit travel, which I also understand. But the goal is to hopefully get to Shanghai by August or sometime in the fall.
Okay. Well, what do you know? That, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Shanghai, from what I hear, is a cool place.
Amazing city.
What do you know? Have you been there before?
Yes.
Okay. What do you know about it? What do you look forward to about it?
Well,
I don't really know anything about it.
Climate-wise, it's going to be a little different than what I'm used to because it's a lot warmer.
Okay.
It's further south in China.
Okay.
A lot of beautiful architecture, super crazy high skyscrapers, super modern, amazing restaurants. It's a little bit more expensive in Shanghai, though.
Is it more international?
I would say so.
Well,
yeah.
sure. I mean, I guess it definitely is. But I mean, like food-wise and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, when I was there, when was I there? In end of December, we went, I forget the name of the place now, but it was like this super cool. At first, I thought it was like this underground mall. like a strip mall.
Yeah.
But it was actually all bars and restaurants.
Oh,
So you
whoa.
go downstairs, and then there was like a really good German brewery that had German stuff and
nice.
some Chinese stuff too, and it was absolutely delicious. They had like pretzels and sausages and all sorts of good stuff. And then they had a Mexican place that was pretty busy. We didn't go in there, but it looked great. They had 2 sports bars.
I feel like I've never been to a place outside of the U.S. Granted, I've never been to Mexico. I've never been to a place outside of the U.S. that does Mexican food well. Like, I've been to places in Germany that are sad imitations of what Mexicans might eat.
I will say this, though. I do think there are a couple places in Prague that aren't too bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's not authentic Mexican food.
Sure.
And I think there's a lot of places in the States you can get really good Mexican food.
Yeah.
I would argue. I mean, I think it's pretty tasty.
Yeah. I mean, at least, I mean, I'm not an expert either, but from what I've experienced, I mean, and we haven't even met. I mean, I haven't even really spent much time in like the Mexican food hubs,
Right.
Like Texas and
I'm sure it's out of the world there.
Southwest and all that stuff.
Right.
So congratulations. So, but now you're just back in the same situation though that you were in, waiting for your Russian situation.
Correct. So I'm, I'm hoping this is my main priority, hopefully, as a job, other than the Untranslatable podcast, of course.
Yes, of course.
But I don't know. I'm hoping that it will happen, and if I can't get there by August, I'm hoping that the school will work with me. We'll see. I'm not sure. Right now it's so unprecedented. It's really hard to say. I don't know if this is a bad way to think about it, but right now, because it's so unprecedented, I don't really have any set expectations. Like, I want to get to Shanghai by end of August if I can.
I mean, it seems kind of foolish to get your hopes up really too much at this point.
Right, because there's so much outside of my control.
Right.
I have no control if there are flights there. I have no control if the visa office is open yet. That's all out of my control.
Yeah.
It does occasionally, it's a little stressful.
So currently, Liz, right now, are the borders not even open to go to China? Is it even possible to go to China?
I think there are flights coming in right now for Chinese citizens.
Okay. So you have to have
Which I will say, I don't think that's necessarily an unfair thing to do.
Sure.
Like, some
Yeah,
people
I'm
have
okay
really
with
been
that.
criticizing them, but I think, right now, why not get some of your people of your country back, and then, we can start letting more people
I feel
back.
like people that are criticizing it are just scared and not really thinking.
Could be.
It's like if these families are separated and yeah. Okay. I mean,
So yeah, we'll see. But if it happens, I think it'll be an amazing adventure.
Yeah.
We'll have a lot to talk about here on the Untranslatable podcast. That's for sure.
would you be teaching the same thing?
No, I'll be teaching high school English.
Oh. So is it just like you're just like teaching the? Is there like different levels advanced, or is it just like generic?
High school, I would say it's high school level English at a high school in China. Yeah, and they have a partnership
be a
with
whole different
UCLA. Yeah. I've got to be physically on campus 40 hours a week, so that'll be a change. In Jinan, I was probably on campus physically. I worked a lot, but I was probably only on campus 25 hours a week.
Right.
I did the rest of it at my apartment, but I was also within walking distance to my apartment, whereas here I'm probably going to have to take a shuttle. Because
what do you mean a shuttle?
It's in the suburbs. A shuttle bus
Oh,
to get to school.
But why do you call it a shuttle?
Because the school provides it.
Okay, it's not like a public bus.
Yeah, it's for all the teachers.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's for all the teachers.
I gotcha. Oh, that's kind of cool that they do that.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. It's a fantastic school.
Okay,
I'm not going to name drop them yet. Just 'cause,
no, sure, that's fine. I mean, no one knows it anyway.
Right.
Does that mean so you're no longer going to be giving speeches?
I don't know. I think I might somehow try to see if I can still be involved with English language programs at the embassy or consulates or stuff like that. If I can, why not?
Yeah, sure.
I'd be happy to help. I had a lot of fun. We did a lot of great events while I was there during those 6 months. I mean, that's why I'm looking forward to going back. It's been a crazy experience, Jared, going from being in China, being out of China, back in America. It's
what's
weird.
What's the thought process behind going back to the very place that you lost your job due to a pandemic a few months ago?
Right. I think the key thing is, now where China is at, I think they're doing a good job to handle the situation. I actually think that they know enough about the virus and have dealt with it longer than we have.
Yeah.
That they have health checks on their phones. I mean, I know this sounds very kind of 1984-ish.
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
Right, but they have a health code. But you know what? I mean, if that's the law of the country, you have to abide by it. And I'm not really incredibly against it if we know everyone's healthy.
Sure.
And if you want to stay home, then don't use the health check. But if you want to go places with other people, I think it's smart for contact tracing, and so we don't have second, third waves of this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look how many people have already died, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm going to Mongolia.
Right. Yeah. No deaths. Right. So yeah. But it'll be interesting teaching high school. I mean, I taught high school in the Czech Republic, so I'm comfortable with it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also hoping to get involved in other ways, like do some after-school programs and stuff.
Do they do a lot of after-school programs there?
I think they offer some clubs and different things. Yeah.
Okay. I know they're like a lot of your students have a lot of activities going on.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder where they draw the line between like oh, this is just like a hangout, but you're not actually learning, versus oh, this is a good sort of English learning situation for you.
I think a lot of them view it as a good learning opportunity.
Okay,
I really
so they're
do.
okay,
Yeah.
so they see just like the fact that immersion alone is really
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I will say this though. I allowed my students in Jinan to speak Chinese with each other, speak Mandarin, just because I was teaching a methodology course, not a speaking course. With the speaking course, I allowed them to explain words to each other in Chinese, but for the most part, they did a good job speaking only in English.
Okay.
But it'll be interesting to see with these high school kids because I've seen some high school level kids in China who have impeccable English and others that are beginners.
Yeah.
So it's and how they bridge that gap, it will be interesting to see.
Is it a big school?
It's pretty large, and they have a program with UCLA, and they do AP classes and college prep classes as well.
Wow. So this is a good school.
It's legit. Oh yeah. I mean, I'll show you pictures of the campus when we're done.
Okay.
It's gorgeous.
Oh,
It's
really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is this so? Is it's a public school?
So that's.
I guess every school's a public.
Well, it's
school.
a public school, but I think it has funding from UCLA in some ways, or I'm not really sure how the funding works.
Okay.
But I know that, and I think it's like semi-private. I'm not sure. I don't think it's free to go there.
Okay.
Because I think it's also a boarding school. I'm pretty sure they have students can live there.
This sounds like the Cranbrook of Shanghai.
Could be.
Do you know that school?
Oh, I know. Of course I know Cranbrook. I grew up in Michigan, Jared.
I know, but you're kind of out in the boonies. I don't know.
We are out in the boonies.
We were driving around and I showed my partner. I was like, "You want to see something crazy?" And we drove through Cranbrook's campus. Except a lot of the school areas were closed because of the virus, so you couldn't really see a lot of it. But just showing her some of the back roads and houses back there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I'm excited, for the opportunity to gain some more teaching experience in other fields, related fields, but a little different. I think it'll be a good experience.
How long is the assignment? Is it
a year? It's a year
Okay.
contract. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So start in August, end in July.
So if you do something like that, is it easier to stay there for a longer period of time if you wanted to?
I think so. Yeah, I think if you like the school and the school likes you.
Oh, you can just keep going.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So theoretically, if you wanted to, this could be your path to never coming back home. Because when you're in the Czech...
I wouldn't say that, but it could be.
Okay. Sometimes I always like to think that you're not coming back.
You really think I'll never come back to America, huh?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
But I can't. Maybe I'm projecting.
I would like to be able to be in different places. I'd like to be able to come back here for a little while.
Go to other places.
Yeah, go to other places. Europe, Asia. Yeah.
That's true, but you can't keep coming back here.
Sure.
No, I mean,
if you have summer break, save some money.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Your
I'll
parents
be
love
back.
having you.
But and also the long. I have to look at the contract again, but they have the long Chinese New Year holiday.
Oh yeah,
which is a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, a couple weeks to fly from China to U.S. I don't think is really worth it. That's such a long flight. It'll take you so long to readjust to the time change that by the time you're adjusted, you already got to fly back.
Yeah, no, and
it's not worth it.
I'm with you. Once you're there, just be there.
Right.
Do you wanna
Spread a little love.
I do.
Get the speaker closer to me.
I do. I have a couple shout outs today.
love.
There we go. My first one goes out to a 9. You okay? Did you get stung?
No.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah. This armrest has been baking in the sun.
Do you want to grab another chair?
No, it's fine.
Right,
it's fine.
Be careful. Don't burn yourself. We're sitting outside in the sun, and these metal chairs can definitely get hot.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Anyways, my first shout out goes out to a 9-year-old Kenyan boy named Stephen Wamukota, who has developed a hand washing machine to help curb the spread of coronavirus, and he has received the Presidential Award in Kenya.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
How old is he?
9 years old, Jared.
Jeez.
9 years old. Developed this. So Jared's probably wondering, how is this machine made? That's a great question, Jared. I'm so glad you asked. So he bought some wood, 9 pieces of wood, and made like a window frame. Wait. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, sorry, this was the dad talking about it. So apparently his dad actually repairs electronic goods for a living. And his son has always been keen to learn his trade and tinker with stuff. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But bummer. It doesn't actually really say how it was made other than like they put some pieces of wood together. They have a couple pieces of wood together on a tree. They have a bucket, and then they have looks like a soap dispenser type of thing.
Okay.
And I think you step on a pump with your foot, and then it will tilt the bucket and dispense the soap. So it's hands-free.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But I mean, think about it. Some of these countries, that's big. They don't have any...
But it's like reusable, so you can do it one time, and then when you're done, it'll fling back up?
I think so. I think you have to probably refill it. I don't know. I mean, you can... The picture's a little hard to see, but...
Oh, okay. I see. Oh, wow. That's clever. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
And to receive a presidential award at 9, I mean, is amazing.
That's a big deal.
So we're sending lots of love your way. Stephen Wamukota, that's just awesome.
Yes.
Really, really great. Okay, I'm trying to think. I thought I had one more. Maybe not. I guess not. All right, let's move on. I think you know what time it is, Jared.
Time for those untranslatables.
Yes, sir. Get us started today, Jared.
Okay. Okay, I'm chilling and relaxing, and my computer's like 14 feet away from me.
You want me to get us started?
I got it.
Okay.
My first one is Brazilian Portuguese, and it is chupa essa manga. You could probably guess what that means.
Eat my mango.
Suck this mango.
Suck this mango. And that means like F off. Screw you.
Not really, no.
No.
It's more of a, it's not as aggressive as that. But it is aggressive. It is aggressive, but it's not as aggressive. No, it's like hey, let's I would maybe more classify it as a booyah.
Oh,
maybe the move where you do that.
Suck my mango. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
That makes sense. Because it means in your face.
Right. Okay.
So that's what I would picture. I would picture more of a booyah, or like
that's fair.
Or like maybe it's like for example, there was this a couple years ago. There was this guy in his 40s, and he was drunk in Canada, and his friends bet him that he couldn't swim to
across the river.
Yeah, across the river.
Yeah, that's such.
And not only did he drunkenly swim across the river, but he didn't get caught. By the way, this is from Canada to Michigan.
Yep.
He didn't get caught until halfway on the way back.
Yeah, little late by then. At that point,
and it literally was just a drunken dare. And so they're like, "Oh, you can't swim to Detroit, eh?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, eh? Suck this mango."
Is that how they talk in Canada?
And he just jumped into the water.
Right. Well, Jared, it's interesting you have a Portuguese one because I also have a Brazilian Portuguese one. Actually, I have two of them today. My first one is Casa de Mãe Joana, which means what?
Say that again?
Casa de Mãe Joana.
Oh, at first it sounded like House of Marijuana.
No. House of Mother Jones' house.
Oh, okay.
Mother Jones' house.
Mother Jones' house. Mother Jones. Who's Mother Jones?
So let me. So maybe when you were a kid, Jared, you had that friend. Maybe not. I don't know. I think you surround yourself with pretty good people. But maybe you had a questionable friend or two when you were a kid. You went over to their house. Their mom wasn't really paying attention. And,
oh yeah.
And house was a little messy. You could eat some really tasty food, but really terribly unhealthy.
Oh yeah.
You know,
So it's like the House of Gluttony almost, where it's like where you go to.
Yeah, or house with no rules.
House with no rules.
Yeah, you can just do whatever you want.
I'm trying to think. I don't really have one of those. I had one in high school.
Okay.
And my parents did not like him. Probably
really?
rightfully so, let's be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, there's definitely like those houses where you can just go to and yeah. I never understood those like those. I never had that high school situation though. I think a lot of Americans have, where it's like this is the house whose parents let us drink.
Right.
That I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We didn't really either, but
There's no way Dexter didn't have those houses.
I mean, they
though.
did, but I didn't really hang out with those people in high school. I hung out with like my friends who I played tennis with, a couple music guys, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I had a ragtag group of weirdos myself.
Yeah, me too. But,
my next one is Greenland again.
Okay.
It's, much like last episode. Greenlandic is what we're gonna go with.
Yep.
And it's Agajagui.
Which means?
Stomachs.
Huh. So like that was great. That was delicious.
No, okay. Yes. No.
No.
Well, anything I could say. Think about.
So like cool, awesome,
No,
badass.
it's more of a people say it together. Let me help.
Let's go.
No, people say it together. People say it when they're celebrating. People say it usually.
Cheers.
There you go.
Oh, really? Cheers. All right. Ooh. All right.
They say stomachs, I imagine, because it goes down the stomach.
That's true. Down the little hatch there, Jarrett. Down the little hatch. My next one is also Brazilian Portuguese, and I won't be able to pronounce this right, so to all of our Brazilian listeners, I apologize. Please tell me how I can pronounce this right. Here we go. Pau pau, quilo.
I don't know what.
Bread, cheese.
Bread, cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like you go together like two peas in a pod. Bread, cheese.
Like peanut butter and jelly, but no, it's not what it means.
Two things that are like it's simple. Something simple.
Let me try.
Easy as 1, 2, 3. ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3.
No. I mean it's like I don't really know how to explain this one. It means it is what it is.
Oh, I gotcha. Bread is bread.
Cheese is cheese. I guess.
Bread is bread. Cheese is cheese. Yeah, everything is that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have one more too. It's also Brazilian Portuguese.
Nice.
We had the same idea there.
Mm-hmm.
Although you did not think Greenlandic.
I didn't. Next up, I'm going to do all the cold lands now too. Watch it, Jared. I'm coming for it.
It's pagar or pato, or is it pahar? Pagar.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Either pahar or pagar. I'm going to say pahar.
Probably.
Oh,
Pahar.
pato. To pay the duck.
Is that to give up?
No. It's time to pay the duck.
It's time to face the music, face the consequences.
No. So let me think. Who has had to pay the duck that I can? Well, the ultimate duck paying is Jesus. Jesus had to pay the duck.
Make a sacrifice.
Yeah, but it's
To be resurrected.
Someone is paying for something they shouldn't have to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's to
Okay.
pay the duck.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're taking the hit and they don't deserve to take it.
Well, Jerry, I think that's
Like Jesus.
I think that's an interesting transition into our main topic for today.
What is the transition, Chad?
The fact that college is going to be forever changed, I think, at least for a few years because of COVID.
Well, I'll say this. I remember the first thing that came to my mind is I feel like maybe online schools will get a better rap.
Mm-hmm.
We the reason I thought of this was because I mentioned that I talked to my cousin recently, and we were talking about some old teachers from high school, and one of them, he used to always brag about how he got a 4.0 in business school, and people would be like, yeah, but I mean it was from University of Phoenix, which it was, which is fine. but people would sort of make fun of him, quietly about that. And I feel like it is always kind of like almost not a punchline, but not really. It's definitely not. Most colleges that are only online aren't taken as seriously, and I feel like that'll change a little bit because
I think
now
they might have some more legitimacy.
Now that schools are switching over to that in a sense, just temporarily at least, I think it's almost kind of like working from home,
Right.
I think they'll start to see some of the benefits of it and try to incorporate it more.
And I hope
and it won't have a stigma to it.
Right. And I hope this will also lead to better practices overall, because I think there are a lot of people who are not don't have the skill set to teach online. I mean, I've taught German online, I've taught ESL online. All I need to do now is teach guitar online, Jared, and I have the trifecta.
Yeah.
But anyways, the
that
whole
seems difficult though.
Right. Yeah, instruments are, I think, a little. You can do it, but it's a little more difficult, I think, personally. But anyways, I think I agree though that there's going to be more legitimacy to online stuff. I hope it will also be more incorporated for some stuff that's not necessary anymore. I think we do so much lecture time, and I don't know if it's necessary.
Instead they should record it and just like send it out like a podcast or something.
They could, yeah,
or like a YouTube video or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like there is something though to, at least me personally, like I feel like I would not, like part of, especially as a young kid that's still pretty irresponsible. Part of what gets me like actually going to these classes is that I have to physically be there,
Right.
And I feel like not being there. But then hey, maybe it weeds out a lot of terrible students.
But maybe you also are there for better reasons. What I mean by that is you do better things in class instead of just doing boring lectures.
What?
I think the
Could you think of an example?
Sure. You can do activities. You can do games, discussions, debates, practice tests. If you're, all sorts of different stuff.
So be more interactive in the classroom. But you seem very concerned that the awning's going to fully rip off.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
I think it's okay.
I feel like okay.
I feel like it's pretty
sturdy. Yeah, I think so. That tree blocks a lot of the wind too.
I think we're okay.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I agree with you. I guess I agree with you. But the thing is, do you see like older people, especially think about when you were in China? Do you think do you see older people adopting that and finding that to be a useful way to use your time? And I feel like I hate to pick on China because I can imagine a lot of people here in my own USA that would have that feeling too.
I think there's a lot of people all over the world that wouldn't be comfortable with some of that stuff, and everyone has their own philosophy and beliefs on education and how they learn the best. And for some people, if using an online platform is too cumbersome, then maybe it's not the best way for them to learn. If you can't operate Skype properly, or if you can't, type in I know it sounds silly, Jared, but if you can't type in a Word document properly, it's going to be a hindrance for you and probably make it more frustrating.
Sure.
So why not write it, But I think there are still virtual ways we can do things, in education that will benefit and hopefully maybe be more efficient and save time.
Yeah, I agree with you, and you could also make college cheaper too.
Yeah, I hope that will happen, but I doubt it.
No, but I think I'd be interested. I wonder if in the short term. Now, I don't know what I'm talking about. Now I feel like I'm wrong, but I wonder if in the short term we'll see a slight decrease in tuitions because
probably.
I'm
sure.
Like, what do you signing
enrollment?
up? Enrollment. Thank you.
Oh yeah, enrollment's dropped everywhere. I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, that's another thing that I was thinking. Speaking of enrollment dropping, I think there's like a weird sort of segment of people right now, like at an interesting age between 17 to 20, that's or maybe even 22, that now have. Now maybe there's more of there's like if you were to, I think about if I were to be applying for a job, what I would want my resume to be like, and if there's going to be maybe like a gap in a year through college,
right.
I'd be nervous. Like maybe I'd have to explain that. Maybe they'd ask about it, and maybe I didn't have a good answer. Maybe it's just I failed and I wanted to come back, but I don't want to say that. And so I think that for a small group of people, it'll be like, oh yeah, there's a pandemic, so I didn't go to college. I got a job for 2 years or whatever, and then and then I went to college because first of all, I don't want to go to that cesspool, and then also, I needed money more than ever.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a fair argument. I think, and the other problem too is that a lot of educational institutions, I think, are not going to be willing to lower the prices. I hope they will.
Yeah, probably not.
But
especially probably not.
Unless there's government help or something. Yeah, private places, without a doubt, they won't.
Well, interesting. Do you think maybe you'll add another layer of elitism to college? Because there'll also be like the especially can-dos that are going now. Right.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I don't know.
I wish we could take so much importance off of college,
Right. Well, it's also easy for us to say sitting here, both of us with a bachelor's degree and me with master's, but it's, I think college is important, but I don't think it's important for everybody. I mean, for what I'm doing, I think I made the right choices.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people who, studied certain things and didn't really know what they wanted to do. And look, when you're 18 years old, that's a big task to decide right then and there, I'm going to do this for my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, I think I got it wrong.
Right. I mean, and the whole fun of life is your path isn't just set in stone. It's not like you're 18 and then they come to you and say, "Okay, you're going to be a podcaster."
Do you think that now that gets me thinking, do you think we'll see a shift in majors?
Probably. I think there will be a shift on certain majors. I think I've
away
read,
from doctors, maybe.
I've read there could be an influx, either really positively or really negatively, because I think a lot of people do view healthcare workers now as heroes, as I think they should. I mean, they're putting their lives on the line, for all of us. I'm not a healthcare worker. I wouldn't. There's no way I would do that. I mean, I don't think I would be good at that,
Yeah, I don't have the disposition.
Right. I don't like blood. I'd probably pass out too many times. But yeah, so I think it'll change that. I hope it will also make us value how interconnected we are globally with so many places, because I think this pandemic has showed us, it's trapped foreign students going in or out of countries.
Yeah.
It's curtailed their graduations or their semesters or their internships.
I'm trying to think of then what direction would we see majors going? Like, where would people maybe be gravitating towards?
Probably STEM fields. I think a lot of people, so like
science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yep. I would say some of that.
I wonder now, there's definitely, I feel like corporations are not looking good right now. And I think people don't, I mean, in general, people don't take them seriously. But I think people are, like Amazon, I think, is starting, people don't take them seriously for one. And then, like, with seeing, like, the response to, like, the pandemic, everyone has the same, like, oh my God, times are tough, buy your stuff,
Right.
Right. That's actually great.
That is pretty good.
Times are tough, buy your stuff. Like, they all have the same sort of generic message. And it's like, like, people don't like I don't know, but then I also see with all these protests and stuff going on, like a lot of people promoting black businesses. When what I say to all of this is, I think there's going to be a bigger push towards like local economies.
I think that's great. I hope so.
And I wonder I wonder if that would push people into these business degrees or away from them, because you don't really need a business degree to start a business.
Well, see, that's the thing. When I had a talk with Jason, our professor from Albion, a while back, we gave him a shout out on the last episode. We were talking about this has really changed how I think a lot of people view education, because they're really, I think, weighing the cost more now than ever.
Yes.
Because it's like an education is I still have plenty of debt I need to pay off,
Yeah.
And that's the sad truth for a lot of Americans, and
I think that's a good point too, because I mean, people, what do we have to do? What should we do?
We gotta bring this in if it starts to get windy.
Oh, okay. Now I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about education, the cost.
Oh, yeah. Because I mean, people already do live. A large majority of the U.S. lives paycheck to paycheck, and when something like this happens, and you could lose a lot in a very quick moment, I think it definitely starts putting it into perspective.
Right.
like what am I spending my money on?
Mm-hmm.
How could I, the cost benefit analysis changes a little bit and moves more towards finding a job quicker.
Right. And I have to say, look for places where you can go and you can get funding. Either an employer can get you funding, you can work for the school. I did that at MSU, and I do not regret it one bit. But
is that easy?
What do you?
What do you mean get funding? What does that mean?
It means you apply for some type of
grant or something?
assistantship or grant, or there's all sorts of stuff. You can be a resident assistant, an RA, all sorts of different stuff.
Would you have chosen an RA?
I mean, if that would have been the only way to go through grad school debt free, then yeah. I mean, you have to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm with you. Man, I wonder if I've also seen a lot that this pandemic, it really shows the pay gap.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? Where it's like the disproportionate pay between like the rich and the poor, and
I think it's the wage gap.
Wage gap, is it? Okay. And how the people with the degrees now are the ones that seem to be faring the best because they are in the the positions where you can work from home. That's an option,
right?
Or where you're not a quote unquote essential worker,
which there's no shame in being one.
Yes, but
it's a different type of work.
We think about doctors and stuff, but a lot of the essential workers are like the
grocery
the quote unquote non-educated,
right?
People or jobs,
right? And they make significantly less.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they should make the same amount as a doctor because it's not the same amount of responsibility.
Yeah,
but I think they should. Everyone deserves a livable wage.
Sure.
I don't care how much education or how little, you deserve to be able to support yourself, your family, put a roof over your head, food on your table, and clothes on your back.
Yeah, it does show how shaky this whole society is.
Right.
And how, a lot of those roles that we really rely on really get the short end of the stick.
Right.
And it's like this could break at any moment.
Absolutely.
We're starting to see a little bit of it. Or
right.
not. So, yeah.
I think another thing, too, with higher education in terms of finding jobs is you have a whole network of people that, I didn't realize how much of a network can really help you with different things.
Do you have a network through your college?
Through Albion or through MSU, through different organizations, yeah.
I was in a business program in college, and I guess I could use them as a reference for stuff. But I feel like I don't feel like I have
right?
Yeah. I don't feel like I have a relationship with them, But maybe that's partly on me,
It's on you, buddy.
I don't donate, first of all.
Uh-oh.
So that's probably has something to do with it. But yeah, no. I mean, you do have, but I think that's another thing is especially in these times in these unprecedented times when finding a job is hard, as many sort of, no matter what sort of field you're in, knowing the people is the way you're going to do it, and having as many sort of connections helps, especially for someone like you that is in the education field, having connections, not that you can just get a job at Albion or something, but knowing people that know people always helps. And I think
for sure.
a lot of that does come with education and stuff too.
But I think it also has to do with being active in the field and trying to better yourself in the field.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff too. I mean,
yeah.
I've had to ask for recommendation letters the last few weeks because I have been pretty actively job hunting. It feels kind of relieved now that I have a contract and who knows what's going to happen. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Really hoping. But it's interesting how the job that I am hoping for in August, that was through a friend of mine. She sent me. It was an available link online.
Sure.
But it was through a friend of mine. She said apply for this, and I applied for it, and heard back pretty quick, and here we are.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, especially connections are everything. People use that. Have you ever used your fraternity as a?
I haven't. I haven't used Phi Mi Alpha or DTD.
Yeah, it seems like people do that, but I don't understand that.
I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. I think if the chapters are similar in different places.
I just don't understand how that gives you any sort of how can you vouch for someone that you're in a fraternity with? It's we have this sort of people pretend that it's this is some sort of professional organization, but then we all watch a movie and they're doing keg stands.
I don't know if I would call it a professional organization, but I do think it's a good place
to make those
for like-minded people.
Sure.
I think a lot of fraternities, if they really do believe in what their values as a fraternity are, I think they, in some essence, do get kind of like-minded people. You know, you hear about some fraternities on different campuses
Yeah, they
having
all have their
opposite.
different. Yeah.
But I think if there are some fraternities, maybe there aren't, but if there are some that, you know, have a pretty similar, you know, type of brother, I guess, in the fraternity, maybe you feel like, yeah, I could work with this person because we share similar values.
I'll tell you this: as someone that wasn't all about joining a fraternity, like it wasn't really in my plan when I first went to college.
Right.
As someone, but I did join a fraternity. As someone like that, like there are a lot of people that know before they're going to even go to college. Oh, I want to join this one specifically. I didn't. I
had
really
no idea either.
But for people like me, I bet you in the coming years they're definitely going to think twice about joining fraternities. Those places are. Or I mean sororities, I guess, the ones where people live together. Those places, at least the fraternities, are disgusting. They are just like breeding grounds for sickness.
Right.
And not.
But I think dormitories in general are pretty.
That's true.
Pretty bad.
Ooh, I wonder if there's gonna be some sort of surgence in off, like especially like at our school that doesn't really do much off-campus living.
Right.
I wonder if maybe we could see people springing for that. Like, I don't want to stay in these cesspool dorms.
I would assume that some places might open up have like a hotel or something where if infections are a big deal, they would quarantine people there or something.
I don't think it's going to come to that.
I hope not either. But
I don't think it's going to come to that.
Let's hope not. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see though how they plan to do everything with the dorms and getting all the students back come the fall. And I'm really curious to see what's going to happen, right? I mean, will we see students wearing face masks? Will they not? You know, you can't really feasibly social distance in a dorm or dormitory, you know, if you've been into most of them, unless they have really big rooms.
You know, I didn't even think about this. So I guess we're lucky that this is happening at the beginning of summer break. So we at least have, you know, about 2 to 3 months
time to try to plan.
But yeah, like, but is there logically
communal
speaking,
showers, man?
Ugh. Yeah, but is that a good place to get Rona? I wonder.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. If someone
because you still have your own, you still have your own stall,
right?
And the the surfaces, at least the surfaces in the shower, are constantly getting sprayed down. And
right.
Although I remember in all of the showers I had in college,
there were some nasty ones.
I don't know about you, but like even if your butt would rub up against the wall, you'd be like, ugh.
Yeah,
it just sends a chill through your spine.
It does. Oh man. Well, I'm not going to say their names, but my college roommates
they were
my senior
especially
year
disgusting. They were
rough.
especially disgusting.
That was rough, man. That was rough.
Oh man!
But hey, I had my own room though.
That's true.
You know,
that
was
true.
really nice.
You know, it's actually funny that we're talking about this because we haven't even mentioned the fact that our school had a mini pandemic in itself. When we were in college,
true.
there was a flu outbreak that closed our school down for a few days.
For a couple days. Only a couple days though.
Yeah. How did that work?
But you know, with Rona, it's been months.
Yeah. Granted, there's a lot less people, I guess, and we're contained.
Right.
But how did that work?
I'm not sure. That's a good
I remember.
question.
Did you get flu during that time?
I don't think I did.
I didn't either. I didn't either.
I've been pretty lucky to not get sick.
Both me and my roommate Brad did not get flu. Although we also lived with Guardo. He got flu, but he wasn't supposed to be our roommate at the time, really. But he did live with us. So we told him to go back to his actual room. We're like, listen, Sicky, get out of here. And we had a great time. We had a great time, actually. But
we're good buddies, but get out of here, Sicky. Oh man.
So yeah, it's people didn't even think twice about that, did they?
Not really.
Why do we not care about the flu? I wonder. Is just used to it?
I think it's because the flu, is always around, and I mean, I think for college kids, the flu's not that deadly. I'm sure.
Sure, I guess. Yeah.
Plus we have flu shots. Now that doesn't guarantee that you won't get it because it's a different strain. You can still get sick, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how will cafeterias function. You know, how will a lot of the just general day-to-day. I've heard some universities are trying to do like a smaller percentage of students per class. But then also, once again, if you're thinking from an institutional standpoint, they're losing money.
Yep.
You know, that they don't have as many students.
I remember in our cafeteria there was a room that we called the Keller. Mm-hmm. We called it, and it had like TVs in there. And now I'm wondering how gross those remotes were that were in there.
Probably pretty nasty.
Yeah. No, I bet you there will be. They will go hard on the hand
cleaning?
sanitizer.
Yeah.
No. See, I don't even believe that they're going to go hard on the cleaning.
Just the hand sanitizer.
I feel like they're going to go hard on the hand sanitizer, almost as like some sort of look. See, we're trying to like. I feel like
I worry though that like, are there going to be adverse health effects to like using as much hand sanitizer as people are using now?
Probably. Because also, you should really just be washing your hands.
Right.
But like,
so then, do you have a hand washing station before everyone walks in?
Also,
like, what do you do? You know?
I mean, I imagine they will just put them in like all the classrooms and stuff at a lot of schools. I could totally see that, and then that sort of being like it.
Right.
But I also feel like, do kids care? Like I wonder if the kids care.
That's a good question.
I wonder how concerned they are. Who's concerned about the Rona?
That's the difficult thing as well, though, too, because for kids, I mean, there have been some kids who have gotten ill and I think even died.
Sure.
But
I mean,
the vast
you know what I mean.
majority of kids, are usually okay.
But I mean, and they don't seem, and I can't imagine kids being that concerned. I wonder if they're just going to be like, oh, no, I want to go, you know, like college is fun. People want to go.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah, it's hard to say. Well, that's the other thing I worry about, too, is all the social events in college. How are you going to do that? You can't do everything virtually. I mean, you can probably do some stuff virtually, but not everything.
I think schools, you know, a lot of schools have like some online classes that you can take, but I think schools should try to figure out a more comprehensive online curriculum and make it like almost, you know, like how people go to like U of M Dearborn or U of M Flint. Mm-hmm. Like I went to U of M online. See, now I don't want to make it sound like when I hear it, it kind of sounds like a. Like people kind of say that like U of M Dearborn or Flint is sort of a downgrade.
But But on your diploma, it just says U of M, doesn't it?
Does it?
I don't know.
See, that's what Are people gonna like?
I think a lot of those places, that's how they get the credibility.
How could you
say?
Sure.
You know, because I know there are also like a lot of different institutions, U.S. institutions abroad in different countries, Japan, China,
but
Korea.
you can't go into an.
you could say I graduated from Arizona State because that's what it says in your diploma.
So you can say I went to U of M.
I think probably what you would say is I went to U of M via U of M.
So okay, so it is. So what you're saying is is disingenuous
the question is, how do employers feel about that? That's the question.
But okay, but my question for you is, you'd say it would be disingenuous to just be like, I went to U of M or I went to MSU. If you went to like some
MSU in Mongolia,
I don't know where MSU's would be, but if you went to like one of those satellite schools,
right? I'd probably just say I went to MSU in Mongolia, did it online.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's still if it's an accredited place. I don't think
sure. I mean, you're getting the degree,
right?
And maybe also if you do it that way, you could. It would be a way. You keep mentioning Mongolia for some reason. It got me thinking. It could be a way for you to like live your life outside of just going to college. So you're not just sitting there.
Right. You can work. You can make money.
Yeah. You can.
That's appealing to a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, I've been thinking about doing a teaching certification program, so I would be a licensed teacher.
How long? What do you have to do to do that?
Be a 9-month program.
Okay.
9-month program.
You have to go to classes and stuff?
Online classes. It's all online except the student teaching. So you have to do, I think, a semester.
At like a high school or something, or a middle school?
And so hopefully if this job works out in Shanghai, I would already be there. So kill two birds with one stone.
Oh, okay. Wait, so the student teaching counts if it's not in the U.S. for your teacher certification?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's only a few programs that allow it, but
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so if you do get this job, you're just going to get your teaching certification?
I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Because you might as well. At that point, you might as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really scared. Not scared, but people have been, whether it be family or
Are they telling you get your MBA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous.
I knew this day would come, Jared.
I haven't done homework or gone to school in so long. Right. I'm just nervous of my ability to do it. It seems hard as hell.
I can tell you, though, Jared, as
my sister just graduated, by the way. Shout out. She just got her MBA from Ross.
Oh, nice. Congrats. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, though, Jared. I can tell you, someone who's a teacher and who's had to assign homework and grade homework, I think you could get back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
But online gives you a lot more flexibility, you know?
Yeah.
Because when I looked into getting a teaching license, I looked into a couple places like Eastern Michigan. They have a good education program. But
I would like that stigma to go away. I would like.
I would too.
I would like to be able to say go to a great school like Harvard and be like, oh, I did it all online, and that be just as impressive as just saying you went to Harvard. Period.
Right. Well, and I think if a university is thinking about their cost, I think it's probably pretty low cost, to have these online classes.
Sure.
You're not using a classroom.
Yeah, you're like paying for some web hosting or something, or
right, and you're paying your professor and maybe your teaching assistants.
Yeah, but
the tech people.
You're not paying all the overhead of maintaining a building.
Right.
Or you're better using it. Or that's just why I don't see why. That's why I don't understand the stigma, because I feel like a lot of these schools could have a whole other revenue stream.
They could.
Of just because I know are there a lot of schools that offer like a full program? Obviously there are courses, but.
I think so. I think there are some full online programs, I would imagine.
But from schools big schools.
I think so,
like
yeah.
MSU, you could.
I know. I've seen online programs for I think Arizona and Arizona State.
Okay.
Which I would say are legit universities.
Sure.
A couple other ones out of California. I don't remember. So there's definitely some online programs.
Okay.
The other thing I don't get is why they don't offer education and licensing stuff through your work, So say you start working at GM or Ford or Chrysler or something, right? You start on the factory line, but you're smart, you're motivated, you want to move up, and maybe you want to pursue a degree in engineering. Well, maybe there could be a way that they could somehow train you. And your work can cover it. You know what I mean?
I think they. Oh, I wonder. Now I know companies have stuff like that for people that are already in salary positions.
Right. But what about preparatory? I know it's a big risk, I guess, financially speaking. But
sure.
But the payoff, I guess, could be really good if
keeping them in your company for longer probably helps. I would imagine.
And you build their skills, and It will be interesting to really see how this will shape things, because I think finance-wise, it's going to change it a lot, I think. Just because who knows, I know there are some schools that have already said they're not going to be opening up in the fall. So, what does that mean? There's so many jobs. There's so many people that would be, a lot of these kids are, maybe stranded at their parents' house. I'm a little stranded. I mean, I love it here. I shouldn't say stranded. I'm very lucky and happy to be here. But you know what I mean? A lot of people get displaced when, their job or college is abruptly ended, or even in the fall. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it some more. I wonder if what other sort of majors we'll see. We'll probably see a boost in maybe due to all of these protests and riots. I bet you we'll see a boost in social justice related, or
probably tech stuff,
various
too.
Ethnic studies. Yeah,
tech stuff. I think because it's even more important now than ever.
Yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, with all the all the technology we use on a daily basis, and it has made life possible during all of this. I think will make education continue to be possible during this.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, dude. Let's talk about our song.
Let's do it. So our song today...
we've really been in the Brazilian Portuguese mood.
We have, yeah. We got the Untranslatables. We got the song. And our song today is by a group called Nova. And the song is called Wave, which is a cover by... the original was written by Antonio Carlos Jobim. So tell us about it, Jared.
Tell us about it. Well, first of all, I love the... I'm
going to put it on in the background.
The voice is so conducive to singing. It's it all sounds, I don't know, just the way it flows is great. And then I love the let me listen to a little bit of it. I'll say this though, at least right now when I hear sort of the melody, not that it's good or bad or anything, but it's very very much what you'd expect when you'd hear Samba. Is that what you'd say?
Yeah,
this
I think so.
So what do you think about it, Chad?
I think it's a great song. I love the chords, the guitar comping. Sounds fantastic. It's what gives it that kind of laid-back vibe, and the drums are fantastic. Okay. And like we were talking about before, Jared, Brazilian Portuguese is just such a beautiful language to sing in.
Yeah.
It really is something
That's
else.
Great. And we're doing some searching, and we've stumbled upon it, and it caught our fancy. What's it called again?
The song is called Wave by the group Nova. And I'm not sure where Nova is from. I don't speak Brazilian Portuguese, but her singing sounds great.
Do you know when the song came out? Does it say? It probably says on the YouTube, but you're looking it up.
Here. May 12th, 2015.
Okay. For some reason, I expected it to be older than that.
Right. Let me see here. But yeah, it just has such a great laid-back vibe to it. Good old samba. Yeah, Brazil. Oh, wait. Born in Brazil, made in Los Angeles.
Okay.
There you go. Born in Brazil, made in Los Angeles.
They're on the big, trying to make something of themselves.
Right.
I'm sure they already have.
But they're absolutely fantastic. So check it out on our YouTube channel, Untranslatable Podcast, Song of the Pod playlist. The group is Nova, and the song is called Wave. You'll definitely enjoy it. Pop this on while you're having a classy dinner with your loved ones, and you'll definitely enjoy.
Sweep them in your hands and dance with them slowly.
That's right.
As you tell them you love them.
Most definitely. Well, Jared, I think we should recap today's episode. What have been the key points for today, you think?
I love this. Now this is just put Jared on the spot.
Yes.
Tell us about the song. Recap this whole episode. I don't even remember what the topic was. Oh, yeah. I think we need to stop shaming those that, I feel like there is a stigma to online college.
Yep.
And I think we need to sort of lift that a little bit, especially in the light of pandemics. I think we need to not rethink, but I wish I wish it made people take a step back and realize. I mean, I guess there's only so much you can do about dorms,
right?
But even just me, someone who's lived in a fraternity, take a step back and realize how gross that is. But how could we? We're all a bunch of children.
We're a bunch of animals
that don't
Jared.
care.
Yeah, we're a bunch of
We don't
animals.
have our mommies and daddies to clean us,
right?
But I think that we also. There also will be a generation, maybe a span of 5 to 10 years of people that it won't be weird to say, oh, I took a year off from college,
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I think people will really consider if they want to go to college now, just because of everything being so uncertain. I think a lot of people really value they really value being able to go and have that experience on a campus and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see.
But that's why I think it'll push people to also maybe be more entrepreneurial, because I feel
Probably.
like as I said about me, it made me value my like this has made me, and I imagine a lot of other people, value local economies more. Mm-hmm. So maybe less concerned about getting some sort of degree to just work at some big company, rather trying to start some business in your own area or something like that.
Which isn't a bad thing, yeah.
Or even people going to college closer to home now.
Yeah, could be. Very well could be. I think this will also shape international teaching for a while.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah. Study abroad. We didn't even talk about study abroad.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's going to be hit pretty hard.
I bet you that's like just next year. I bet you I wonder. I don't know anything about it, but I wonder if just a bunch of programs are just like, we're just not even going to worry. Or like, what's that one?
Some might not. Yeah, some might stop. They might not continue, maybe, which is a shame.
Or take a year off or something.
Right.
What's that one like like college at sea?
I don't know.
You've never heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's like a study abroad thing where a bunch of students are on a boat and they go to different places and stuff. You've never heard of it?
No.
Wow.
I think we might have talked about it actually.
Maybe. I don't know a lot about it, but
right. Yeah, I've never heard of it.
But I mean, that's a mix. That's a mix of the worst of both worlds: gross college students and gross ships.
Yeah. Perfect. Sign me up.
It looks like fun, though. I've seen pictures of it. It does look like a good time.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, but I think people will hopefully value online education more. I think it will hopefully improve as well, and we'll see what will happen in terms of how colleges and universities will be handling this come the fall.
Yeah, dude.
We'll have to do a recap, I guess, in the fall and see what's happening.
Yeah.
But it is now time. We have said that I will hopefully be going to Shanghai, and they do speak Mandarin there, but they also have a dialect, Shanghainese, and I'm going to tell you guys a new word of the pod today, which is, I'm going to play it first so I can hear the correct tones. Yeah. Do you have any guesses what that means?
I don't think you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think that means?
Yeah. College?
Yeah means thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Wow. Wait, so that's how they say thank you but usually they
Shanghai.
shisha.
Shisha. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Oh, so I didn't realize the dialect would be this different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got all sorts of good words.
Do you feel like you waste a whole bunch of time trying to learn the Chinese before? Because it's like, oh, now this is a whole
Not
different
really,
Chinese.
I didn't.
That's true. You don't really learn much.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say waste time anyway. I meant like, oh man, I got to start over. But
Right.
you didn't really.
Right.
You're still.
Yeah, but I think
at the
it'll
same
still
spot.
help. I mean, the concept of tones is similar.
Sure.
It'll be new words.
But like for example, you recognize certain characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which they were, but I remember you saying certain characters you would recognize.
Numbers, water.
Do you think you'd still recognize those when you go back, or
Yeah.
the kind of
Yeah.
okay?
I think some of them, yeah. The
Okay.
common ones, yeah.
Because I feel like I might forget.
Right. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I think there's actually a couple language learning apps that have Shanghainese.
Oh, really?
on there. Yeah. I think so.
Oh, I
I'll
didn't know
have
it
to
was
take a
that
look.
legit.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems so. I mean, it's a huge city in China. I'm sure they have a very widely spoken dialect. People who've been living there. Who knows? Hopefully I can learn more about it, Jared, and let you and everybody else know. So let us know what you think about what's going to happen with higher education come the fall and the future at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. Slide into our DMs on Twitter, untranslatable1, the number 1. Also, check us out on Instagram for our clips, some songs, and some pics of our adventures on Untranslatable Podcast. And lastly, please, 5-star reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. Let us know how we can make this podcast better for you. So as we say here at the Untranslatable Podcast, dziękujemy, muchas gracias, shisha, and do svidania.
Oh, hold on, don't be I thought we had this whole thing about not being so quick.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Let's have it.
By the way, this has been great.
Yeah, this has been good.
I love this. I could definitely get used to this.
Mm-hmm.
And I obviously haven't heard it in the headphones, but I almost feel like the birds and whatnot add a nice little bit of charm.
Oh, for sure. Some ambiance, as they say.
Yeah.